Okay, okay, okay. So I am back with part two of make ill makeage. So hey, Julissa, give me this box out of my briefcase. So I want to talk to you about what I just experienced. Um, I seen it out of my briefcase. I seen this makeup on Facebook. No, the box, and I seen it on several people's thread, and I seen these women apply this makeup to their skin, and they're like, "Look at the blend. It's blending so perfectly. I absolutely love it. This is what it is." They're like, "I absolutely love it. This is phenomenal. The color is blended perfectly to my skin, and the concealer is absolutely perfect. I absolutely love it. Absolute every freaking thing." And so I was all like, "Oh, let me try it." Right? I have these events coming up, and I'm looking to make the most of it, especially when it comes to how I look and how I um, appear in the general public. So, without further ado, on the last episode, I did a full face, only primer, full face of foundation, and the concealer, right? And once I got done, I was pleased. I was like, "Oh my goodness, look at this. I look good. I look nice." I walked around the school and I was looking at my skin. And then when I got to the car, I was like, "I look a little dark." In the school light, it was okay. But then my light, I just found out, must not be all that, because once I got to my car and I was able to get to some natural sunlight, my skin kind of looked dark. Once I arrived home, my children bust out laughing. They like, "Mama, who would make you look like that? Who did your face?" And also, I have some hydrocortisone because my skin is on fire. It is burning up. Okay, so I have to put some hydrocortisone on my skin because after after about having the makeup on for about an hour, probably instantly, but I really wasn't tripping off of it at the time. Um, my skin felt a little irritated, but not so much so to where I had to make a fuss about it. It's really over here, you guys. It's really on the right side of my face. Um, this is really a lot of pressure right up here, and very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. I would have never thought that I would have felt like this. And so I applied the makeup. Like I said, I feel like I felt a little irritation, but not so much for me to just make a fuss over and have a complete conniption. I just kept it rolling, right? Now, once I arrived home and my daughter started making fun of me about how I look, I was like, okay, um, let me get this stuff off my face. I haven't even gotten to the review portion yet, but let me get this stuff off my face. When I put that makeup wipe on my skin, I was all like, "Oh my god, what the heck is this?" So I was able to get all of it off. Then I washed my face, and then my face tightened up like a little ball. It's so tight. My skin is so tight, but all over here, it's so. It feel like a bunch of needles are in my skin. Very uncomfortable, right? So that's that. Now let's get and I'm gonna put a little coconut oil on my face as well. Um, Now that we've gotten my irritation and burn out of the way. Um, let's get to the next portion. What did I feel think about it? Well, this is what I thought about it. Initially, when I put the makeup on, I didn't really. I thought I was looking good. I wasn't really tripping off the light that I was in, and that it made my skin considerably darker than what it was really red, but it made my skin considerably darker than what my skin really is. That's number one. Number two is you have to use too much of it. When it came out runny. I'll show it to you. This is the foundation. I can throw this stuff across the room because my freaking skin is on fire. This is the foundation. I felt like it did good. I felt like it was a perfect match. Um, but it was a little darker than my skin. It was, and that was that part. But then the fact that I had to put more than I like on my skin for it to cover. I look for full coverage, even though I don't have very bad skin at all. But I do a lot of things on camera, so I want full coverage so I can look very flawless. Okay, um, this was not giving me the full coverage that I need until I actually applied more. So I had to use maybe three times the amount that I would use with what my makeup line is, which is cover fix or cover FX. So how do you guys want to pronounce it? I call it cover fix, um, but I have to use three times the amount. Cover fix comes out thick, and it really spreads well. This, on the other hand, it spreads well, but you have to use enough of it for it to cover. The concealer was really dense, so when you put it on, it didn't have a thickness to it that told me all I need is a very small amount. When a concealer has a certain depth to it, you know that when you use a certain amount, that it will spread very easily, and you don't have to use much at all. Well, this isn't the concealer for that. This may be work well for some people that don't look for certain things in their makeup or certain type of coverage, but for me, this just doesn't work. This up here, because of the container that it's in, it's cute. It's kind of impressive the way that they packaged it. But even from the container and the way that it looks on the brush, I felt like I knew it wasn't going to have the type of coverage that I was looking for, right? Because even if you go back up into the first video, you can see when I put the concealer on that I went over it multiple times. Well, when you have good concealer, you don't have to keep going over it. I use Becca, and it's just one swipe. It's really very great coverage. But I also got hip to F over the weekend, and I like F. It's a very inexpensive concealer for a tube like this is about $6, and it has very good coverage. It spreads very easily. A little bit of it goes a very long way, and they have everybody's skin tone. So that was that. I did like the combination from the color for my skin to the concealer. I like the combination. I like the color change because it really did give me a bit of but it was just the fact that it did not match my skin tone that made it not go so well for me. And coupled that with the fact that it burned the hell out of my skin, that really didn't go well with me. Now I'm sitting over here looking like I just um, bathed in Crisco grease because my face got burned. Um, and that's it. That's my honest review. I don't like it because it burned my face up. And I'm sitting over here, with my little tin cup with ice in the child, just steady rolling this thing on my skin because it's crazy that after washing my face about 30 minutes ago, that this stuff is still burning. So yes, I would not recommend this because I wouldn't want anyone else's skin to get burnt up. Um, Another thing is this tube costs about $50. My cover fix is about $46. My Mac was $32. I never really liked Mac anyway, other than the fact that it had a good name, but it didn't work. I found some really inexpensive foundation that works so much better than Mac, so that's not my vibe. But this right here, yeah, it'll make it. I know. I should have paid attention to the name. The name told me everything. That's what you get for getting stuff offline. Not paying attention to every component. I should have read more reviews. I should have done more research because at this point I'm just burnt up. So to conclude, it'll make it. I will not recommend it. It looks cute in the box. It has nice containers that it come in. The packaging is really done nicely. And when it goes on, it's seemingly good. However, if you're not in good enough light, you will not get the full effect until you step in natural light. Once you step in natural light, you may or may not like the results. As for me, I didn't like the fact that I was about 2 shades darker than my natural skin tone. If I want to darken myself up, that'll be at will. If I want to lighten myself up, that would also be at will. But when I purchase makeup, I do not look for anything that's going to make me lighter or darker. I tend to go for the same tone as my skin. And if I want to make anything lighter, it'll be that my highlighted areas in my face, and that'll be the thing that I use to, brighten myself up a tinge, but it will not be forcibly by darker or lighter makeup. So the test was inaccurate. The makeup burned my skin. You had to use too much of the foundation for full coverage, and my skin is not bad at all. It does not have a lot of blemishes, and there are not deep scars on my skin. So in my opinion, I give it a swift thumbs down. So that concludes my review on Makiage. I seen it off of Facebook, and I'm disappointed. Good thing is I use good makeup, so I ain't really got to worry about it. Yeah, I'm out. Y'all, let me know if you want reviews of anything else, but at this particular point, I'm out.